Hey Commanders fans, get ready, because today we have exclusive news about our team, and you can't miss a single detail. So take advantage and subscribe to the channel, activate the bell to receive everything firsthand, and of course, leave a like to strengthen our support and show that there are only true fans here. Our commitment is to always bring you the latest updates, news, and everything that goes on behind the scenes at Commanders. So, without further ado, let's check out today's news. Washington Commanders face crucial decision on Marshawn Lattimore's future. The Washington Commanders are facing one of the most challenging decisions of the offseason: the future of cornerback Marshawn Lattimore. After being acquired in the 2024 trade deadline, Lattimore arrived in Washington with high expectations, being considered arguably the biggest name traded at last year's trade deadline, according to Christian D'Andrea of USA Today. However, his time with the team has not lived up to expectations. Initially seen as a crucial addition to the Commanders' secondary, especially in a potential deep playoff run, Lattimore has faced a number of issues. Injuries and a lack of consistency have limited his impact on the field, raising questions about his future with the franchise. As the team looks to streamline its roster and maintain financial flexibility, Lattimore has emerged as a strong candidate to be released. Should Washington opt to cut the veteran, the team would save about $18 million against the 2025 salary cap, a significant amount that could be reallocated to strengthen other areas of the roster. Despite Lattimore's impressive NFL record, his struggles last season call into question his ability to return to the elite level that made him famous. Furthermore, the Commanders' performance in the 2024 playoffs further reinforces these uncertainties. The Commanders rebounded to the NFC title game despite their top cornerback being out for much of the season and getting crushed by guys like Mike Evans and A.J. Brown on the field, D'Andrea said. Lattimore's lack of impact in key moments raises questions about his importance within Washington's defensive scheme. Now, the Commanders' front office faces a dilemma: trust Lattimore's pedigree and experience, hoping he can find his best form, or move on and invest those resources in younger, more reliable players. The cornerback's contract still suggests he could be given another opportunity to correct course, as D'Andrea put it, but his disappointing performance in 2024 makes his tenure seem increasingly uncertain. Regardless of the final decision, Marshawn Lattimore's future will be one of the hottest topics of the Commanders' offseason, with significant implications for both the defense's performance and the team's financial health for years to come. Washington Commanders consider adding Super Bowl champion wide receiver. With the offseason in full swing, the Washington Commanders have a significant opportunity to bolster their offense. One name that could land on the team's radar is Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Chris Godwin, a high-caliber player who could bring depth and experience to the team's receiving core. Godwin's contract status. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Chris Godwin recently agreed to extend the expiration date on his contract to March 12th, allowing more time to negotiate a new long-term deal. However, if the two parties are unable to reach an agreement, the veteran wide receiver will be available on the free agent market. Why Washington could be an attractive destination for Godwin. The Commanders enter this offseason in a favorable position. With the growth of quarterback Jayden Daniels, a large salary cap space, and a team that showed progress last season, Washington has the right elements to attract a player of Godwin's caliber. Also, despite having a high-level piece in Terry McLaurin, the team's receiving core has been inconsistent. Adding a reliable and versatile player like Godwin could transform the Commanders' offense into a much more dynamic and dangerous unit. Godwin's impact on the Commanders' offense. When healthy, Chris Godwin is one of the most reliable receivers in the NFL, with the ability to play both wide out and in the slot. His presence could provide Daniels with a safety target, especially on third downs and critical game situations. It's worth noting that Godwin is recovering from a torn anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, an injury that ended his 2024 season early. However, he has historically demonstrated resilience, proving to be an impact player when in peak condition, compared to other interested teams. Unlike franchises like the New England Patriots, who are also in need of a boost to their receiving core, Washington already has a young and promising quarterback in Jayden Daniels. This could make the Commanders a more attractive destination for Godwin, as he would have the chance to immediately contribute to a budding offense and help develop the young QB. A move that could propel Washington to the playoffs. With significant cap space, the Commanders are in a position to negotiate a contract that is favorable to both parties. If the team can land Godwin, the duo of him and McLaurin could become one of the most dynamic in the NFC East. Not only would this addition elevate the offense, it would also position Washington as a serious contender for a playoff spot. If Godwin does indeed become a free agent, the Commanders should strongly consider signing him. Adding a player with his experience and skill set could be the key to transforming the team's offense and solidifying Washington as a competitive team for 2025 and beyond. NFL analyst finds perfect free agent to fill out Commanders' cornerback room. Asante Samuel is a name that probably rings a bell for most NFL fans. The four-time Pro Bowler and 2007 first-team All-Pro twice led the league in interceptions during his prolific 11-year career, winning 2 Super Bowls. His son, Asante Samuel Jr., hasn't garnered the same accolades, but he's a solid player in his own right. After spending his first 4 seasons with the Los Angeles Chargers and racking up 6 interceptions, he's set to be a free agent. One team that could potentially take a look at him is the Washington Commanders. Bleacher Report listed its top 50 free agents with the top suitors named in the top 25. The Commanders were singled out as a good fit for 5 players. Samuel was one of them. The Commanders have also been linked to a pair of San Francisco 49ers cornerback Charvarius Ward and linebacker Dre Greenlaw. Zach Bond and Milton Williams of the Philadelphia Eagles have been put under the microscope as solid fits in Washington. Some of these options are more realistic than others. It seems unlikely that the Eagles will let Bond walk after an All-Pro season. The same can probably be said for Williams, who emerged as a key piece for Philadelphia during its Super Bowl run. Ward is aging by defensive back standards, entering his 8th season in 2025. Greenlaw raises concerns about whether he will return to his old form after tearing his Achilles tendon during Super Bowl 58. Commanders linked to free agent cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. Samuel is intriguing and unlikely to return to the Chargers. Christopher Knox said new defensive coordinator Jesse Minter's scheme isn't a good fit. The analyst argues that the Commanders would be a much better fit, as their defensive backs coach Tom Donatel coached the Chargers secondary in 2023. The Commanders should also take a look at the 25-year-old. Washington relied on a lot of older veterans in 2024 and should now be looking to add younger pieces to the puzzle. Christopher Knox. Samuel seems like a worthy prospect for Washington. General manager Adam Peters has already built a promising track record of finding success with free agent signings who were undervalued by his previous teams, such as Frankie Louvu, Dante Fowler Jr., and Jeremy Chin. Samuel could be a valuable addition, especially if Marshawn Lattimore proves to be on the downside of his career. The Commanders will have plenty of money to spend this offseason, with the third most salary cap space in the NFL at just over $82 million. While some of that will likely be spent trying to make bigger splashes, there are always the under-the-radar signings that move the needle as well. Samuel should be at the top of Washington's wish list in that regard.